Audio Jungle.
Man found dead at St. Mary's School. A man was found dead at Galena Primary School in St. Mary Tuesday morning, which resulted in the closure of the institution for the day. The police say they are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of the man, whose body was found with blood on his face in the school's auditorium in the community of Galena near Portmore in the parish Tuesday morning. A police report is suggesting that on Monday, February 10 at approximately 11:30 p.m., the watchman at the school saw a man with whom he is familiar enter the auditorium and fall asleep. About 5:50 a.m. while opening the school, the watchman tried to wake up the man, but he did not respond. It is understood that the watchman then realized that the man, who was lying on a mattress, had what appeared to be blood above his right eye. The police were alerted and the body was removed to the morgue. Investigations are ongoing to determine the cause of death. Cornwall College alleges bias against rural schools after controversial school challenge quiz lost. Cornwall College is alleging unfair treatment and bias against rural schools following the institution's recent loss against Jamaica College in Television Jamaica's School Challenge Quiz competition. In a letter submitted to TVG, the Montego Bay-based institution says the issue stems from a question in the buzzer section of the match. The quizmaster posed the question, what two ratios constitute Young's modulus? Our team accurately responded with stress and strain, an answer that is universally recognized in physics and which was initially accepted as correct. However, following the conclusion of the match, which became apparent that Cornwall College had emerged victorious, Jamaica College submitted an appeal contending that the answer lacked specificity, the letter stated. Cornwall went on to lose 4 points following the appeal against its answers, an action it described as unjust and arbitrary. The school has argued that if more specific wording was required, the question should have stated so. It also contended that the answer has been accepted during the long-running quiz competition before in 2018. Cornwall also said its coaches were treated differently from the coaches of Jamaica College, which is based in the corporate era. Our coaches were repeatedly interrupted and rushed while presenting our case, in stark contrast to the treatment afforded to Jamaica's college coaches, who were given ample time to advocate on behalf of their team, the letter claimed. The letter went on to describe that Cornwall says is a trend in discrimination against rural schools and called for a review of certain judges' standards and judges. All boys schools says it is awaiting a response from Television Jamaica. Man charged for murder of 14-year-old schoolgirl Price Johnson. The St. Catherine South Criminal Investigations Branch CIB has formally charged 38-year-old Emmanuel Linder with the brutal murder of 14-year-old schoolgirl Price Johnson. Linder was charged with housebreaking and wounding with intent. The wounding charges relate to an attack on a relative of Johnson who came to her aid during the ordeal. The male relative was struck in the head by Linder as he attempted to escape, the police reported. According to reports on the afternoon of Thursday, February 6, Joyce was at home in Palm Grove Court, St. Andrew, when a man entered her apartment. Shortly after, screams were heard. A male relative who was alerted entered the residence and was later seen wrestling with the intruder, who managed to escape. Johnson was subsequently found inside the apartment with wounds to her head and face. The injured teenager was taken to hospital, where she died while undergoing treatment. Following investigative efforts, Linda was apprehended at his residence on Sunday, February 9, with assistance from his relatives after he had not been seen over the weekend. He was taken into a safe custody and formal charges were laid against him on Tuesday, February 11. His court date has not been finalized. House passes bill to make Portmore a parish despite strong opposition from PNP. The House of Representatives on Tuesday passed the Counties and Parish Amendment Act 2025 to make the municipality of Portmore, Jamaica 15th parish. The bill, which was piloted by local government minister Desmond McKenzie, was passed despite stiff opposition from the People's National Party, which accused the governing Jamaica Labour Party of gerrymandering while threatening court action. Once it becomes the law, the position of the indirectly elected mayor of Portmore, now held by the People's National Party Leon Thomas, will no longer exist. This, the PNP said, goes against the will of the people of Portmore. The PNP also pointed out that the Portmore lacks the amenities that other parishes have, such as a functioning court system, a general hospital and market, noting that residents will still rely on St. Catherine to access these services. The bill, which was passed with one amendment, will now go to the Senate for debate and passage, after which it will go to the Governor General for his assent. Portmore is the first parish being created in Jamaica since May 1, 1867, when the parish count was reduced from 22 to the current 14. Tavares Finson hits back against government criticism from P.J. Patterson. Senator President Tom Tavares Finson says former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson should maintain his silence about the government's handling of the country. If Patterson is the best for the PNP has to offer, this confirmed that Mark Golding-led PNP is bankrupt in terms of ideas to move Jamaica forward. Quite frankly, given the devastating and painful impact his administration had on the quality of life of most Jamaicans, PJ would be best advised to resume his silence on the issues of gain made in several areas, suggested Tom Tavares Finson in an audio note. When a general election constitutionally due later this year, Patterson, who came out swinging his made it clear that the time has come for a change in government. We have to change course. We are moving in the wrong direction. The moral order is under siege and the social order is decay. We have to come to the rescue of the Jamaican land we love. Time to restore the precepts of transparency and accountability, stated Patterson, who served as three-term Prime Minister between 1992 to 2006. Patterson was addressing a People's National Party Region 6 symposium in St. James recently. Among the areas of criticism that Patterson identified are road health and poverty. Not even before the days of Oxford, when it was Rockstone Road, have I seen the roads in Jamaica in such a state of dilapidation and disrepair, he stated. The government is currently addressing the issue under a $45 billion Share Prosperity through Accelerated Improvement our Road Network Spark project. In response, the Senator President reminded Patterson of a promise made during his administration. It is unfortunate that he appears to think that Jamaica will forget that it was his administration that promised Jamaica would be pothole-free by 2003 and failed to deliver. Patterson must be made to recall that his government stewardship was so wretched that it contributed heavily to the meltdown of the financial sector, and one of his own cabinet members confessed that the Patterson administration had presided over the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since slavery was abolished, stated Tavares Finson. Regarding health care, the former Prime Minister pointed to the Conroe Regional Hospital rehabilitation project, which has experienced an increase in cost and completion delays, as an example of what he described as a sector bordering on complete failure. Starting with $1.2 billion and is now at $21.5 billion and mounting, and the hospital is still incomplete. Now, where else in the world but Jamaica could you have a project like that and not even one head roll? Questioned Patterson. In the past, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton argued that there was no cost overrun and the delays were resulted of years of inadequate maintenance, which led to a failure and sick building being rescoped into a new facility. The Senator President claimed that this was during what he termed the PNP destructive era, when the management of the economy was so poor that there was no room to invest in upgrades to key sectors without borrowing from multilaterals and rocking a national debate. Patterson also delved into the government's claim of prosperity. Despite all the boasts about prosperity and despite the economic index, there are so many families where simply cannot make ends meet, argued Patterson, who added, there is a recent report which showed that hunger and malnutrition in Jamaica are at an alarming level. The senator said Patterson should be reminded that while he was Prime Minister, the unemployment rate was at a record high of 16.5% and murder spiraled from 414 to 1,674 per calendar year. He said Patterson presided over an era when Jamaica was officially branded by the international media as the murder capital of the world. Tavares Finson noted that the government of Prime Minister Andrew Holness has recognized that there is much to be done. However, he urged that it cannot be disputed that we are steadily making gains in the area of improving the standard of living for most Jamaicans. Indeed, it is no coincidence that the poverty rate is projected to decline by approximately 12%. Murders are significantly trending down, and unemployment levels are at a record low of 3.5%. Additionally, The government has made unprecedented investment in improving the road network, the healthcare system, and the results are beginning to emerge. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.